Lions TV, we are sponsored by Regal Elevators and Lifts Consultants Limited, a company that is owned and operated by a Millwall fan, just like every single one of the sponsors that you can see on the screen already. If you are going to do a bit of business in the chaos that is 2020, then please keep it in the Millwall family by checking out all of our sponsors' website links in the description below. This is your Thursday Club VT. We're going to look back at last night's last-minute heartbreak at Blackburn, and we're going to look ahead to Saturday at the Den and the return of 2,000 season ticket holders as we face Derby County in desperate search for a win. But as always, let's wind it back to last night and take a look at the starting 11 that the gaffer picked to start the match. So unsurprisingly, away from home, he went three at the back. It was the big dog, Bulkowski, in goal. Jake Cooper injured and missed his first game in over 3 years after dislocating his shoulder at Birmingham. So it's Murray Wallace, Alex Pearce and Sean Hutchinson, three centre-backs. Marlon Romeo returned from a little toe injury at right wing-back. Scott Malone played left wing-back. It was Sean Williams and Ryan Woods in the centre of midfield. And up front, it was Jeb Wallace on the right. I'm going to let you argue it out over whether it was John Daly Badvarson central and Parrott left, or vice versa, Parrott central, Badvarson left. It looked to me that like Parrott was playing out on the left and Badvarson was the central striker. Before we get into the game, well, it is part of the game, but I don't like to mention this. I never like to allude to this, but unfortunately, in this instance, I'm going to have to. We got absolutely robbed last night. Again, I don't know why I'm laughing, because we got the fucking ump. 3 stonewall penalties. I hate saying, you know, oh, I don't like to blame the ref. I've got no option other to blame the ref. I've just watched Gary Rowett's interview that he put out last night after the game. He was furious. Obviously, he has to watch what he says in case of a backlash from the league. It was an absolute disgrace. 3 stonewall penalties. Here's the first. Shot. Jeb Wallace is blocked. He comes back. He has another attempt. And in the laws of the game, it's a stonewall penalty. He moves his arm towards the ball. He doesn't move his arm towards the ball. He moves his whole body towards the ball. It's handball. It's a penalty. Stonewall. That's the first one. The second one's probably the worst one, as I agree with Gary Rowett. In the second half, ball into the box. I don't know what the guy's playing at. His name sounds Argentinian, so I don't know if it's in tribute to Maradona, but it goes up, Badvarson goes to flick header it towards a goal. He does flick header it, and 2 hands from the defender with no one else around is another stonewall penalty. And then right at the end of the game, at the death, we're trying to have one last push to get that vital equaliser. And guess what? Surprise, surprise. Ball into the box from Scalak, headed back across. And again, the guy jumps above Matt Smith. Here's the third picture. I didn't have a picture of the second one, sorry. Stonewall penalty. You want to see that a little closer? There it is. There's an even further closer up of it. Unbelievable. And I'm a big advocate of VAR. I know people go, well, you're not surprising. You're a YouTube. You're a mug. You're not a Millwall fan. You're not prop bar. But I like VAR. It sorts things out. And if we had VAR in the Championship, I've said this before, and I'm tempted to put a little compilation together of all the bad decisions we've had this season. Swansea away sticking out in my memory as one big one. We'd be flying. We've been cheated out of it. We've had an absolute doubt. I'm not taking anything away from Blackburn. They wasn't very good at the back, by the way. Neither was their keeper. I thought he was shit. But they were clinical when coming forward, and that's why they got a striker in Adam Armstrong, scored 5 goals in 5 games now. So I'm not taking anything away from Blackburn. I'm talking now referees and Millwall Football Club. I don't like to jump on that bandwagon, but yesterday, absolute disgrace. So let's move on to the game and the reasons why we lost it. I'm going to try and focus on that today, and I'm not going to dig out individuals. I am going to praise one individual, and that's John Daly Badvarson. And I don't rate him, and I don't think he's good enough for his standard of football, but people are using him now as a scapegoat for the last 2 games. Yesterday especially, thought we had a good game, and I don't know why people are even mentioning him in their critique, shall we say. I hate that word, but I couldn't think of anyone a better one to use, so I've gone with it. He done nothing wrong in the game, so I don't know why we're using him as a scapegoat. The starting 11 wasn't the team I would have gone with, probably not, but the gaffer's gone with it. And Gary Rowett we trust. I've not seen that for a while, allegedly. But listen, it was a good performance. It was an in-your-face performance. We pressed high, we used the ball well, we moved the ball quickly, we had good movement off the ball, and we just didn't fuck around. When we had the ball, we got it forward quickly, we got opportunities, we put balls into the box. This is why now I believe, and I'm not digging anyone out, I'm going to tell you the reasons I believe we lost the game. This is a big part. I'm going to show you these stats which my mate Charlie sent me. Charlie sent me these stats. There you go. Look at them on the screen. Chances created by players from both sides. Central midfield, Sean Williams, 1 chance. I also remember Willow having a shot over the bar from distance on his right foot in the first half. Ryan Woods is not on there, so that's 2 of our central midfielders gone. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything more about Woods, not even at the goal he fucks up for the end. Oh, too late to say it. But Also, that's one problem. Not enough creativity from midfield. Another massive problem, right, is Marlon Romeo and Jed Wallace. Now, I'm going to praise them first off. And someone brought this to my attention yesterday, and I thought, yeah, do you know what? That's a good point, and maybe I've not noticed that myself. They are fully involved. They link up well. They carry the ball up the pitch well. They drag our team up with them. They're full of confidence. They're full of beans. They create a lot of chances, and they're good for us in everything going forward. If they fuck things up going forward, they don't let that deter them. They carry on. They keep going, which I've got the utmost respect for them for both of them. However, in my opinion, and I've tried not to be dramatic about this, and I thought long and hard about the percentage, 60% between them combined, 60% of their balls into the box, or their crosses, or their passes, don't go where they should go. In my opinion, it's not a fact. In my opinion, I've got a strong case to be right in that argument. That is what I'll say to those who disagree. Both energetic, both full of beans, both good at travelling with the ball, both confident. As I said, if they don't do what they want to do, it doesn't come off, the deliveries don't come off, they stay focused. They continue to do that and they drive our team forward. And that's why we get a lot of play down the right. However, over half of where their crosses should be going, in my opinion, don't go where they should. They go behind the goal. Jed loves to do that little one off for some reason. Gets next to the left back and tries to kick it off his shins. He did that last night. That's what cost us the first goal. Tries to kick it off the shins. And when he's nowhere near the touchline, so I don't know why he's done it. As a result, again, look, that led to the first goal. Woodsy's fuck up led to the second goal. However, I don't blame him completely. A lot's got to happen from that point for the balls to go in the goal. So, and by the way, it just shows again how good Blackburn are at using the ball going forward and how quickly they move it and the talent they've got and the individual and personal ability of the players they have going forward, that they've got the confidence to carry the ball. And unlike Jed and unlike Marlon, when they carry that ball, 8, 9 times out of 10, it goes where it should. And as a result, they get the opening goal. A great run from Armstrong, sets it to his mate who's on the left-hand side of our box, cuts in on his left foot and fires across Bolkowski. Watched it again this morning. If we're going to be overcritical, Bart was a little bit too close to his front post. But in his defence, he's not expecting the geezer to do that. And it's a fantastic finish. And Blackburn take the lead against the run of play. As I've said, I've already covered the penalty, so I won't recover the penalties. But after that, we come forward. Sean Hutchinson wins the ball, or someone wins the ball. Ends up at Hutchinson's feet. He knocks it into Bavarsson. Bavarsson collects it. He's running back to his own goal. Defender up his arse. He does a brilliant thing. He just runs the ball into Jed. And Jed, I don't know if they spoke about it, but Jed takes it off him. Little takeover. Jed's in the centre. Very direct, very central with his running, where I've been saying for 4 years he should play. Sets it left to Malone. Scott Malone inside of the foot. Ball running across his body on a rainy day on a bobbly pitch. He gets control, power and direction and puts it in to the roof of the net. An absolutely brilliant finish from Malone. And again, I loved Malone when he first came back to the club. It was a little bit, do you, don't you love Scott Malone? He's a little bit like Marmite at the club, isn't he, if we're honest. I was happy he came back. I thought he was brilliant as soon as he came back, scored in the opening game against Crawley in the Carabao Cup. And I thought he'd been good throughout. Last 3 or 4 games, don't feel that he's been at it. And of course, he was at fault for Cardiff's equaliser scored by Kiefer Moore at the Den a couple of weeks ago. However, what I like about Malone, what I like about Romeo, what I like about Jed, is they continually plug away and try and make things happen in the final third, which not enough of our players do. And in their defence, all 3 of them, especially Jed and Romeo, if their deliveries did come off 9 or 10 times out of 10, they wouldn't be playing for Millwall Football Club. So we've got to take it on the chin, and it is what it is. But we get the equaliser, and we have other chances. We go in at half-time. As I said, for as good as I thought Blackburn were going forward, they didn't get a lot to go for because we seemed to dominate the game, in my opinion. And at half-time to see that they shaded possession by 1%, that surprised me because everything was happening in their area. Our final ball is a problem. Our final ball and our final decision-making is still a problem. And I honestly think if we can rectify that, we're in with a brilliant chance. Again, we don't concede many goals. We're just on a very, very shit run at the minute, which we need to sort out. However, if we'd have won that game last night, for the statisticians among you, looking on the flip side of that, we would have been, what would that have been now? 7 games without a loss. Unfortunately, now we're 7 games without a win. Our last win was, of course, a whack Preston in a 2-0 win. Seems like a lifetime ago. But as I said, one goal either way, a penalty decision either way there. We could have had 3. We should have had 3. Not we could have had 3. We fucking should have had 3. Then we're back in the hunt. The second half wasn't as eventful. But I didn't feel under any pressure at any point during the game. And eventually, balls into the box again, causing problems. But Varsity hits a good shot on a turn. Well saved by the goalkeeper. And I thought, we looked good for the points, if not all 3. After that, Parrott goes off and Bavarsson goes off. They was blowing a bit. Thompson and Bradshaw come on. And last night, I felt frustrated that Thompson wasn't on. I even would have started Bradshaw last night, potentially. We haven't seen a lot of him, but Tyler Berry gets the ball and just travels with it. Basically, Tyler Berry gets the ball and takes people on until he either loses it or something happens like that, or he gets fouled. So he's a good player to have drag you up the pitch. And again, I'm not saying he's ready for this standard of football, but it wouldn't hurt to try him. It just seems everyone we've got with a little bit of pace and a little bit of intent to try and score a goal, Gary Rowett doesn't want to play, especially Matt Smith. As I've said in my full-time reaction last night, I won't go right into it again, but Matt Smith is our top goal scorer. For a reason. I think he's our top goal scorer. I could have killed myself there. Could have been Jed. I don't know. But him and Jed are the only ones that seem to score any goals. So he's got to play. And we put so many crosses into the box last night. And what I will say, you know, I don't like to usually allude to refereeing decisions that's cost us. It has in this instance, 100%. No doubt about it. But the reason, the first one, Jed, and the third one, Smith, the reason that this is happening, we're getting these decisions that are not going our way, is because there's so many bodies in the box. And it's a goalmouth scramble. The reason that is we don't take our original chance. And it ends up being a fucking Sunday League style goalmouth scramble. So if it was more clinical, I don't believe it would have led to that second instance with Jed. We could have scored the first one. And again, with the last shot of the game. So we're heading for a 1-1 draw. We look well good for our point, more than deserving. And then Ryan Woods gives the ball away. I'm not going to go on about Ryan Woods, that goal. I don't care that he's given that goal away. That's not my issue with Woods. That will happen at points during the game. As I said, Jed did it for the first goal. And a lot's got to happen from that point to the point of Blackburn scoring their goal. They do get the winner. Ryan Woods, now this is something I said a long time ago, and I got hammered for it, and I will continue to get hammered for it. I'm not going to say things that pleases you lot. That's not the game I'm in. I just want to give my opinion. I feel it's valid. I feel I know half what I'm talking about because I've built up the following I have over the last nearly 5 years now, and my channel continues to go from strength to strength. So I think I know what I'm talking about. I played a half decent standard myself. So yeah, that is me validating my opinions on football. Ryan Woods, I said he's a luxury player. I make that a little bit easier to understand. Ryan Woods, in my opinion, which I'm entitled to as a paying fan, has no impact on a football match. None. He is, and I put this in the Lions TV WhatsApp group earlier this morning, I've been buried for it, he's a glorified Ryan Tunnicliffe. Ryan Tunnicliffe came to the club and everyone went, fuck, he played for Man United, he must be brilliant. He's living on a reputation. In my opinion, he waddles around, in and around the three centre-backs, trying to get 100% pass completion rate. He doesn't protect that back four. He does nothing going forward. He's so deep, he's out of the game for me. And this is why we don't score enough goals. We don't score enough goals, one, because the central midfielders don't get further enough out of the pitch. Our defenders don't need protected, in my opinion. They're good enough, the three of them at the back and the goalkeeper. Get off their fucking toes. And when I used to play, a mate of mine, his name was Drew Watkins. He was a great fucking player, one of the best players I ever see, with a delivery in non-league. And he used to play right midfield. He used to play with Cray Wanderers. We used to play together on a Sunday. He'd come and try and get the ball for me. As I was like, I didn't my hands to roll it out. And I would say, what the fuck are you doing? Get off my toes. Get off the central defender's toes. Go and play in your position. And in my opinion, that is what Ryan Woods is doing. He's waddling around, trying to play sideways passes. He doesn't get forward enough. Sean Williams, I felt, done all right in the game. But both of them need to push on a lot more. And then, as I say, if we play a 10, that's a different kettle of fish. But we don't always play a 10. So for me, that's what's got to happen. On top of that, you know, Woods doesn't create anything going forward. And he doesn't really do anything at the back. He just plots around, getting his 100% pass completion rate. And for me, he's a lot better than Ryan Tunnicliffe. Look, take for instance Ben Thompson. If you put Ben Thompson, Ryan Woods and Ryan Leonard on the halfway line and went, there's a bin in, I see that bin in the corner flag, see who can chip the most balls into that bin. Ryan Woods would win every time. If you said, right, get the ball at your feet and try and spray it to the left winger 50 times, Ryan Woods would probably hit that 49 times. He'd win by a mile. If you put everyone on the penalty spot and said, hit the crossbar, Ryan Woods would win every time. Technically, he's very good. On the flip side, I love Ben Thompson. He's not very good technically. He's a bit of a spaghetti legs, but he came on the pitch last night. What's the first thing he does? He's fully involved further up the pitch. And I'm not talking about who's best technically. That doesn't interest me. Anyone, I've played with players, and I'm sure if you play any sort of standard, you will as well. Players are unbelievable in training, can do all the flicks and tricks and kick-ups in the world. But when it comes to Saturday, you want to stand up and be counting the trenches. And Ryan Woods ain't no good to me standing next to Bolkowski. So that is my honest opinion. I'm not digging him out. I don't think he's anywhere near as good as any of you lot think he is. And I think in time, as with Ryan Tunnicliffe and as with Jordan Archer, I'll get proved right. Whew, and breathe. Okay, so we are struggling, in my opinion. I do sympathise with Gary Rowett, especially last night. But the league table doesn't lie, and we are slowly slipping down the wrong end of it. Yes, we've had problems with no fans there. Yes, as everyone else has. Yes, we've had problems with strikers coming in and they've been injured, and Gary Rowett's got no budget. But he knew that when he took the job, he knew it was going to be a different kind of challenge for him. And the two players that he has brought in my opinion, at the minute, I've said what I want to say about Woods. Mason Bennett, if he can keep getting over these 2-week injuries, I know he's got a fucking holiday home somewhere, but he gets injured for a couple of weeks, then decides to come back. I do sympathise with Rout, but it's going to be a tougher and different test to he's ever been used to. So he fully knew the implications of the job when he stepped into it. There wasn't cash to burn. You know, there wasn't going to be unbelievable amounts of money available for transfers, etc., etc. And it is, if we're honest, quite a hard pull to get players to Millwall Football Club. We're not the most sought after club for players, shall we say, if that's fair to say. So let's move on to Saturday's game at the Den against Derby County. Of course, they are managerless. They just sacked Philip Cocu, and this is why. They currently sit bottom of the Championship with 1 win from their 15 league games. They are absolutely struggling. That win was right back on the 3rd of October away, a 1-0 win against Norwich City, of all teams. I was going to say they're flying, but I think they lost last night to Luton. It's 3-1 down at one point. Remember watching the game, a brilliant free kick from Wayne Rooney. He will be the one to watch at the Den on Saturday if he turns up. You got away with it last time, Wayne, with an empty stadium. But this time, of course, there is a return. 2,000 season ticket holders will return to the Den on Saturday. Just going to clear something up as well. I'm not one of those 2,000 season ticket holders. If people think I'm Keiko Bako from running a YouTube channel that's got nearly 14,000 subscribers, you're miles off. I used to be Keiko Bako. I used to earn between 80 and 100 grand a year. And I quit that job because I fucking hated it. And I was depressed. And I had a midlife crisis, and I started up a YouTube channel because this is what I love to do, and I love this football club. So there you go, a little bit of a reality check for those who think I'm dish out, hashtag Keiko. I'm not. Far, far from it. So I didn't get my season ticket in pre-lockdown because there was no views, there was no sponsorship, so I didn't have any money to do so. After lockdown briefly ended, they put the season ticket holders availability to go back online and get them. I thought I'd get that tomorrow. The next day, they fucking kiboshed it again. So I haven't got a season ticket. So I'm not going to be at the game. I'll be live streaming again, I would have thought, unless a player's watching this and wants to pull something out their arse for me. But I don't think that is going to happen. But 2,000 of you will be there. I'll be honest, I'm not just saying this because I haven't got a ticket. I'm not that fussed. I want to go back when we can all go back and people can shout things at me. So, you fat prick, while I'm doing fan cams outside the ground. Fuck off, you mug. YouTube shit. I miss all that. 2,000 fans, I'm not really interested. I'll go if I can get a ticket, but I'm not overly fussed. Will it have an impact, more importantly, on our team? I'm hoping it can. We desperately need a win. We desperately need a win. I've covered Derby there, shit. I've covered us. In my opinion, we're currently shit. Let's move on to it. This is your pre-match prediction. And here we go. I've been so furious about wanting to get my points over about the other thing. I've not thought 1 minute what the score's going to be and who's going to score it. And I get the other boys at Lions TV, when they send their videos in and they're not prepared, I just think, well, you're going to do the video. Think about what you know the score's going to be before you press play or press record. And I've not done the same thing. Should I say what I actually think, or should I say what I would like to happen? It's going to be 0-0 or 1-1, written all over it again. It's going to be boring, it's going to be dire, it's going to be dull. We're struggling, they're struggling. I don't think either team will be looking to come out the traps of all guns blazing and firing on all cylinders. So I'm going to go for a 0-0 draw at the Den. I hope you enjoyed that, the 2,000 of you that are going. All jokes aside, make some noise. I'm really pleased here. I bet it's been brilliant to be back, a brilliant experience. I've been back twice, once for the Neil Harris mural painting, which I filmed, and once for the first being back. This will be the next step into hopefully getting our fans back, and then we can stop making it excuses, and that's why the team's not performing. So that's your lot for this Thursday Club. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've worn myself out and given myself a headache all over again. A fan score prediction might be out tonight, it might be out tomorrow night, depending on how quick the boys get their videos in. But if you think you know what the score is going to be, do not be shy to put it in the comments below. I'll either be seeing you from the Den, but I doubt it. Probably a live stream Saturday from 2:30 p.m. for a 3 o'clock kickoff. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.